How to audit a construction company. In this video, I'm so excited to share with you the key things that I would look for in a company and the things that really matter. So do you want to know these steps? Would you like to really have the framework and the perspective that will help you to really dig into your audit? If so, you've come to the right place. So to begin, there might be many different reasons that you would want to audit a construction company. Maybe you want to check in to see if this construction company is fit or pre-qualified. Maybe you're attempting to buy it. Maybe you want to be an investor. There might be a myriad of different reasons why you would want to audit a construction company and to possibly even audit your own to see exactly how the business is performing and how it is running. Now, I do want to be clear right from the start. This is not a tax audit. This is not a financial audit. This is not any kind of government audit or regulatory audit. I'm talking about audit your company to make sure that it can be successful, which will then bring you to being profitable. So let's go ahead and get started. I'm going to take all of the concepts that I'm talking to you about today from the book Traction. Let me talk to you about Traction and the Entrepreneurial Operating System designed by Gino Wickman. It provides a framework for businesses to really become successful. And then the book is titled Traction because it enables you to gain traction. And as a construction company, you want to have that traction. You need to have that traction in order to stay profitable with the margins that we have. So this is key. I'm going to reference from the book. It's absolutely fantastic. They have lots of different resources that you can utilize, whether it's the book or the actual system or their website, their facilitation training, or their consulting. Anything you want, you can find at eosworldwide.com. So let's go into step number one, vision. The vision for a company really distills down the mission, and I'm going to say vision again, vision and purpose, or at least the mission and the purpose, the core values, and where the company is going to go. This is typically articulated into a sales strategy, a 10, 5, sometimes 5, but 10, 5, 3, 1 year goals or targets, and other defining criteria that help to shape the vision that everybody can follow. Now, here's the key. When you're auditing a construction company, for whatever purpose, you need to check on this first because nothing else can really go well without that. That is the measurement criteria. Here's the key. If you're going to do an audit, what are you auditing it against? You might have certain business criteria, financial criteria. You might have, criteria that you're measuring from a marketing or a presence standpoint, from a growth standpoint. But really, the vision of the company defines what that criteria is. Meaning, like in the vision, if it was like stay stable as a company and not really grow, but like really earn profits to take care of the existing people in the company and to stay stable, right? If that was the key, then if you measured or audited the company based on other businesses' growth targets, you wouldn't be heading in the right direction. So the vision statement is going to tell you what is their mission, what is their purpose, why are they here, what are their core values, what are they attempting to do in 10 years, in 3 years, in 1 year. And so that gives you the basis for the audit in addition to whatever else that you've brought with you. So it's very key. If you don't have this, then none of it really matters because you're not really checking on anything real. It could grow fast or slow. Why does it matter? It could be profitable or barely profitable. Why does it matter? Treat people this way or that. Why does it matter? If they don't know as a business where they want to go, then you can go anywhere and it's fine, and there's no reason to audit. So step number one, check your vision. Number two, and this is great, and I talk about this all the time because it's fantastic, and I got this from Jim Collins in his book, Beyond Entrepreneurship 2.0. Fantastic book. So here's the key. The right people in key seats in your organization is your most important metric. If you know where you're going according to your vision, then you've got to have the people to get you there, right? So first get the right people on the bus and then figure out where we're going to drive it and how we're going to, or where we're going to go, right? So if the founder of the business has the vision and then says, okay, team, this is the overall vision. Now, where are we going to go? You can take that company anywhere and you can solve any problem. So a key seat is a seat that has a high potential for a positive or negative impact that is crucial to the business. This will be your C-suite, this will be your CEO, your CFO, your COO, directors of operations, your HR specialist, whatever key seats you need in that accountability chart, that organization chart, whatever you need, the percentage of the right people in those seats is the most important metric. And so you need to be above 90%. If not, that is one of the main things that you've got to fix. So number 2, getting your people in the right seats, in key seats, in a high percentage so that you can take that company anywhere you want to go. Number 3, oh my gosh, Dada, this is so good. You cannot have, the analogy just keeps winning here. You cannot have the people in the bus driving it and have a screen over the windshield. You have to be able to see where you're going. You have to have real-time data. Feedback loops. So if you know where you're going and you have the right people in the right seats driving that bus, now you have to have a clean and clear windshield. So metrics, let's talk about that. Key performance indicators, leading indicators, more importantly than lagging indicators. We have to have these. So once you have that team, we need to have visibility around the things that matter in your business. So you're going to audit, oh my gosh, this is so good. When you audit your construction company, audit, do we have visibility on the right metrics? Are we tracking how we're estimating projects? Are we tracking how many we are winning? Are we tracking our gross profit? Are we tracking our net profit? Are we tracking leading indicator safety and quality metrics? Are we tracking things like employee enjoyment and engagement? Audit those and make sure that they're leading indicators, meaningful, and that there's real-time, real data that will help that team steer that company or steer that bus in the analogy, and you will be on your way. Number 4, when you audit a company, you're going to need to make sure that they see their issues. So if you have the vision, you have the people, and you have the metrics, and you're like, check, check, check. All of that should have produced an environment where the company can now see their issues, okay? The reason that's important is because you then need to identify, discuss, and solve those issues. So if you want to audit the health of a company, don't audit, oh my gosh, this is so good. This is the best video ever. Do not audit whether or not they have problems. Oh, they have problems and they're a bad company. No, 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 no. If they are seeing their problems from the metrics and discussing and solving them, right, then they are a good company. So don't audit them in the wrong direction. Audit whether or not they are seeing their issues and solving them at a rapid rate. It is not the absence of issues that makes a great company or relationship. It is the finding and solving of issues at a faster pace that makes for a great company or a relationship. So consider that in your audit. And let's go to number 5 in your audit. You want to audit their process. And this is meaningful because if you go in and audit a construction company, and again, not regulatory, but to evaluate the health of the organization, and you're like, I see this, yeah, and it's just like a surface level, not really like meaningful observations, you're not going to have a good audit. So what you need to do is look at the process. So every great company, according to the EOS system and the book Traction, should have a standard process. How do I do business? And in each of those categories, have them mapped out step by step and knowing how well they're working. Does that company know how they want to do business? Because if they do, they can train on it and hold people accountable to it. And if they don't, it will be chaos. So when you go to audit a construction company, make sure that they have a standard business process, any standard processes for administrative tasks, and most importantly for a construction company, that they have standard processes for how they build projects. And the last thing that I want to tell you, number 6, is evaluate whether or not they have long-term, mid-term, and short-term goals, which in the EOS system, they call rocks. If you've ever heard the analogy of the rocks, gravel, and sand and water, if you attempt to put the sand, gravel, then rocks, it will spill out of the container. But if you put the rocks in first, then the gravel, then the sand, shake it a little, you can also fit it in and add water. The point is, do first things first. So rocks are quarterly, yearly, every 3 years, every 10-year goals that you set for your company, but they're mainly on a quarterly level. So these rocks within that quarter, within that 90 days, are very, very key. Your audit needs to evaluate how well they're tracking and accomplishing those rocks and whether or not they have meaningful ones. And so this is the basic framework. If you want to know if a construction company is doing well, literally check on those things. Do they have a vision? Do they have the right people? Do they have the right visibility? Are they literally resolving their issues? Do they have standard processes? And are they gaining traction according to their goals? If they don't have these 6 components, they can't go anywhere. And so this is the basis of your audit. You can use the book as a reference in the description below. I am going to link you to the book, some other resources, and I'm going to distill this down into a 6-point Canva graphic. I hope that's enough to win a like or a subscribe from me, because we just love you and this helps get the content out. Otherwise, I just really wish you the best of luck when you evaluate this criteria and that you've enjoyed this video. On we go.